and welcome to this Talkative training video on how to set up an out-of-hours message for SMS or WhatsApp. So first of all, you want to come to the Talkative console or the Talkative admin section as an account holder and go to Chatbots and create Chatbot. And in this case, we're going to call it something simple like this. So we just need to give it a label and a first name. The rest of these messages rest of these settings we can ignore, and we're going to press create. Here's one I created earlier. So first of all, we want to change this exit approach on our welcome node. So at the moment, on the default, it's got this AI lookup, but instead we're going to route based on the queue status. And we're going to pick any queue. This should be the SMS queue that you have configured. And we've got this kind of 3 branches falling down here. And basically what's happening here is we've got a fallback, which will always show at the top of the stemming off from the topmost node. And then we've got these 2 branches that depend, and we'll go down each of these depending on the status of the queue in question. And that queue is the one that we've got configured up here. Now in this case, because we want to show a different message when we're closed, we've got this, we'll go down this branch here, and if the queue is online, we'll go down this branch. In this particular example, what we want to do is just show a message when we're closed. So in this case, if the queue is online, we can even just get rid of this message, and we can just transfer straight into a queue. So in this case, we're going to say if our SMS is online, then we're going to transfer straight into Steve's queue here. If the queue is offline, if Felix's queue is offline for whatever reason, we're going to go down this route, and here we're going to say, sorry, we're offline. And we can either still transfer the message anyway, such that we pick it up in the morning. But what we might want to do is just end the chat at this point. Now, the queue statuses that the system can read are online, offline, for the reason the business hours are closed, offline because there are no users in the queue, or offline because the queue cap has been reached, where if the queue cap is, say, set at 10, the queue will behave as if it's offline, even though you're within business hours and you've got users online. So this is sort of the catch-all approach we could take. However, if instead you wanted to still have SMS or WhatsApps come through when you're within business hours, but maybe people aren't in the queue or the queue has hit queue cap, you can instead change this, the drop downs we've got here. So in that case, what I'd do is I'd change this to offline, and I'd change this one to match everything else, if that makes sense. So in this case, we're only going to say, sorry, we're offline if the queue is closed for this specific reason of being outside of business hours. The final thing to do, we've got this error. It's saying we've just got to do something here. So in this case, we're just going to go to transfer. This fallback node is kind of a catch-all if one of these criteria are not met here, but because that's always going to be the case, we can just safely have it redirect to transfer to let our flow validation work. Finally, we need to save and publish this, and we need to assign this widget, this chatbot config, to an SMS or WhatsApp number, and we do that by going to, in this case, I'm just going to save and publish. And then we go to our messaging queue connections, and we can change that in here. So in this case, that SMS, I'm going to change it to that queue I just created, and that workflow will now happen for all incoming SMS to this number. Hope that made sense. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our support and we'll do our best to help. Thank you.